Raider Nation, this is LiverLipLouie, and I need to apologize. I know I've been missing for a while. They found me. I'm back and better than ever. Before I talk about the Raiders, I want to say one thing. Why do we play games in London? I mean, I know the commissioner, they want to expand, they want to make more money, but like the president says, when is enough money enough? Do we really need to play games in London? You take a home game away from a team. It's just, I mean, come on, they can watch us on the NFL Network. Give them satellite TVs or something. Come on now. I mean, what's next? The Bengals in Baghdad? I mean, why don't we just continue the Eagles in Egypt? How about the Raiders in Ramallah? That sounds like a good game. Or the Niners in Nigeria. I mean, the Saints in Sudan, I've always wanted to see that. That'll help the economy, at least in Sudan. That sounds like a good plan. The Super Bowl champs, the Saints in Sudan versus the Patriots in Pakistan. I mean, come on. When is enough, right? Okay, now back to the Raiders. First of all, I know I predicted the Raiders 10-6 and win the division. I'm still sticking with that prediction. I know we could have been 7-2 and 6-3, but it is what it is. But, you know, you got to look at this, folks. This has got to feel good. I mean, they are playing good, inspired football. I mean, year ago, 2 years ago, they'd give up on these games. They were playing very good football. Where does it start? It starts with the guys up front. On both sides of the line. We've talked about it before. We don't need to get into it again in detail. We know what it means. But another thing I want to talk about is Darren McFadden. Okay, last year I criticized Jamarcus. We all knew he was garbage. McFadden because of his fumbling, and DHB because he couldn't catch. And I want to apologize to McFadden. I was wrong about him. And I tell it the way it is. And when I'm wrong, I'll say I was wrong. Mr. McFadden, it's Mr. McFadden. You were playing sensational football. I know he fumbled the other day, but I'm fine with that because you've been playing inspired football and they're finally using your speed instead of between the tackles, the pitch to him. And I really think it's tremendous. And I want to tip my hat. And you know what? I want to be wrong about DHB too, folks. I mean, come on. Everybody criticizes every week in sports. That's the way it is. But, you know, we all want our team to win. That's the bottom line. And if I'm wrong about DHB, fine. I'll say, Mr. DHB, you're doing fantastic. But right now, the jury's still out. 1 week, he has 100 yards receiving. Next week, doesn't catch a ball. You know, but that's fine. I'm not going to get on no more. I'm just going to let things play it out. But I want to apologize to Mr. McFadden. I criticized him last year for fumbling. And, you know, if it takes LiverLip to make you play better, then, hey, why not? Then that's sensational, right? Another guy I want to talk about is Jacoby Ford. We're all talking about. I tell you, I grew up watching Cliff Branch. I even know Cliff Branch. This guy's at Cliff Branch. He's been tremendous, the catches he made, taking the balls away from these players. And another thing, a couple of things I want to talk about is the blitz. When we're playing better because we're blitzing the quarterback. We're putting pressure on the quarterback. That's the key in football, folks. That's the key. On 3rd and 10, 3rd and 20, 3rd and long, 2nd and long, you blitz. You put pressure on the quarterback. Against San Diego, what do? He fumbled the ball, ran back for a touchdown. Against Seattle, they sacked Hasselbeck 8 times. Even this week, they sacked Castle, I think it was 3 or 4 times. And he doesn't get sacked a lot. But, you know, I mean, it's just, they're playing inspired, tremendous football. You know, I just wish maybe they give Miller, excuse me. Nick Miller. How can I forget that? Nick. I mean, use him like Wes Welker in the slot. You know, get the ball in his hands. Another quick guy, you know. And another thing I want to talk about is the challenges, too. What is it with these challenges? I mean, you get 2 challenges. If you win them both, you get a third. Okay, the Raiders win the first challenge. They lose the second challenge. So then they don't get another challenge? That doesn't make sense. If you get 2 challenges and you win one and lose one, okay, you still have 1 left. Why are you out of challenges after that? That's ridiculous. Well, you got to win the first 2 to get a third? It's like a bonus? It's like, do we get a free cupcake with that deal? I mean, come on. What's going on? If you win one and you lose a second, you get a third. If you lose the first, lose the second, of course you don't get a third. So, I mean, and I'll be honest with you, I'd always save a challenge for the second half. I don't know. It's just me. I'm not the coach. I'm just liver. But I'd always save it for the second half. But like I said, they're playing inspired football, and it's all about just getting in the playoffs. That's it. Win your division, you're going to get a home game. You're going to get a home game. And after that, it's a crapshoot. I mean, look at the Giants in baseball. I'm one of a few that said the Giants can win this World Series because of pitching and defense. And that's the name of the game in baseball is pitching and defense. In football, you get the home field advantage. It means a lot, especially in Oakland. And that's all we need to do is win that division, go 10-6, get in the playoffs, and then it's a crapshoot after that. And I tell you what, this team, you're just hearing from this team. Believe me, folks, knock on wood, they play good, smart football. Cut down on the penalties, of course. The penalties are just, you know, absurd. They got to cut those down. But, you know, the referees are kind of like politicians. When do they retire? Why do we have these guys for 20, 30 years? It's like politicians. Why can't we get some youth in there, young guys, who can maybe see a little better, and can make better judgment? I mean, it's kind of getting ridiculous. It really is. On both ends. I mean, 26 penalties, whatever it was for both teams, it's ridiculous. But we don't want to talk about the negative. I know I've said enough of that, but we want to say the positives. Raiders are playing fantastic. I'm sorry I've been gone. Liver's back. I'm not going away again. They found me. I'm here to stay. Go Raiders.